Hello everyone and welcome back to another Ww2 Solitaire board gaming news show. I got so much positive feedback on my last episode, so I decided to really step up my game. I hope that you find this new episode a great improvement, and I spent quite a lot of time on it compared to the last episode. I will keep doing informal and quick news segments, hoping to keep these news episodes short and fun. I decided to split the news episode into 4 main segments: general Ww2 Solitaire news, designer interviews, Kickstarter news, and new Boardgame Geek database game entries. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Pigs from Hell Games, which recently released a solo expansion for their well-established Heroes of Normandy game series, has ceased operations. They have still not delivered the latest Kickstarter, Heroes of the Pacific, and it's unknown if they ever will. So, to give you some background to this whole ordeal, first we had a company called Devil Pig Games. Devil Pig Games had economical problems and ceased to exist in 2020, or they ceased their activity in 2020. The licensing for their products were then purchased by another company, which is called the Boardgame Strategist and is owned by Arnaud Charpentier. The Boardgame Strategist, or Arnaud Charpentier, then opened up a new company called Pigs from Hell Games. In this new company, he employed the original developers of the game, which was the owners and the employees of the old Devil Pig Games, which again ceased its operation in October 2020 and was officially liquidated in March 2023. So, because of the lack of communications, there has been widespread rumors going around, and incorrect information is being spread about the Devil Pigs company. Basically, the rumors are saying that the company was already liquidated, but still ran a Kickstarter to score some easy money, before disappearing. And this is, of course, incorrect. The correct information is that the new company, Pigs from Hell Games, which is owned by Arnaud Charpentier, had economical difficulties, still decided to run the Kickstarter, and now has ceased operations. And the original developers, which are hired by the board game strategist Arnaud Charpentier and work for Pigs from Hell Games, they claim have been in the unknown of all of this, didn't get any information until the last second. And these people have been blocked from all of the official pages on Facebook, blocked and banned. However, they seem to be in control of the Kickstarter, because there was an update on the 28th of October where they go into the specifics about this situation. All in all, that I can say, it's just a super sad situation, and many of us are worried. Of course, we invested a lot of money. The Kickstarter brought in a total of $150,000. So I'm gonna keep following this situation, and I hope to have better news for the next news episode. The B24 card-driven narrative game Through Hell and Back crowdfund sailed on the Game Crafter goes live today. If at least 100 buyers purchase the game, the discount will be over 36%, with even larger discounts if even more players purchase the game. We finally get to see the tactical display and the box cover of the upcoming Mustang Leader. We also get to see some cool prototype images. Considering how well Zero Leader has been received, buying this one is a no-brainer for anyone interested in a World War II solo game. Now for an exclusive sneak peek on the World War II Solitaire board game channel, game cards which will be featured in the next Valiant's Defense games, Guadalcanal. Game designed by Vincent Cooper. This was one of the highlights of this month for me, and I gotta say, these cards are just stunning. We also get another look at a playtesting copy. Michael Sambor Schwarz, who does the art for Joe Fernandez coming Stalingrad game, which will be a solo game, shares some example art of the game. The cover for Manila, The Savage Street 1945 has been revealed. The publisher has also confirmed that Manila, The Savage Street 1945 is now on the way to the printers and should be in stores by February next year. Joe Carter shares images of completed components for his new game Iron Coffins. Joe says that all mats will be on A4, so there will be nothing large to print out. The table footprint will also be fairly small. There will be quite a few play choices, and it will be released as a print and play on Wargame Vault once completed. Ben Rolling shares photos of Violent Skies, a series of print and play solitaire games of aerial combat in the Second World War. Designed to be a small footprint game, low cost and a simple system, it will hopefully offer players a fun and quick playing game. For those of you who missed the Kickstarter for the postcard games Battle Card Series 1, you can now purchase them directly for only £4 at postmarkgames.com. John Grills of Sadorf Games has announced a limited physical release of the expansion pack The Great Escape Day 1. You can find this at sadorf.com for contact information to secure your copy. Vincent Cooper shares more concept art from the upcoming game Assault Merville Battery. Lock and Load Publishing announced that Junkers 87 Stuka Ace will be delayed and likely not meet the shipping goal of October. We wish them good luck, and as always with pre-ordered games, you have to expect some delays. Designer Thomas Van Heer announced that for many of his game books you will now also be able to buy a boxed edition with all of the necessary components for those players who do not wish to put the components together yourself. You will still need to buy the game books to play, but it will fit neatly in the box. For those of us who aren't good with arts and crafts, this is a great deal. Designer Francis Outdaw shares more prototype counters for his Ww2 Solo that he describes as a wargame version of the Ww2 miniature game Nuts. 303 Squadron, which was released with somewhat broken rules, has now received a new rulebook version available on the Boardgame Geek forums. Some problems remain, however, but the publisher is still promising a complete overhaul, which will be published in the future. British Tank Ace by designer Gregory Smith is now available for pre-order. British Tank Ace 1940-45 is a solitaire tactical level game that places you in command of a British tank during World War II in North Africa, Italy and the European theaters of operation. Another exclusive here on the Ww2 Solitaire board game channel, Javier Rubio Torres has sent me a picture of his upcoming book game Sea Wolves: The Battle of the Atlantic, and its first mission with a description of the game. So this is a solo game book in which the player manages German submarines in the Battle of the Atlantic. All missions begin with some historical notes from the specific period. The game can be played directly in the book with a pencil and a couple of dice. All maps and counters are also included to copy in case the player prefers to play in a more tabletop way. The image we see is a map of Mission 1. Each mission has different maps, which are reproductions of original Kriegsmarine maps. Combat Free Arnhem has been announced. This time it's a standalone game and not an expansion. Available for pre-order on Compass Games website. Michael Rinella shares a photo of playtest art for his next World War II solo game, which plays out in Berlin. This is going to be a sequel to Manila, The Savage Streets, and will use the same system. For those of you who missed the Kickstarter for the print and play card game Fortitude, it is now available for purchase at Tabentpin website. It's a great time for anyone who is a U-boat fanatic. U-boat Captain from Mind & Games is getting an advanced edition release. This edition comes with 8 U-boat displays, log sheet, 37 counters and much more. For those of you who enjoy playing board games on the screen, Tank Commander Ardennes, Tank Commander North Africa, RAF Coastal Command Hudson, and RAF Coastal Command Sunderland from designer Joe Carter are now available on Vassal. 2 new free print and play games are available on Boardgame Geek: Operation Canuck and Mastering Resistance Orange Gabi, a solitaire game of unconventional warfare behind the lines in World War II Italy. Pictures has been published for the upcoming game A Forgotten Sideshow, USMC Air Support Operations Bougainville 1944, a solitaire game designed by Steve Dixon. We got a sneak peek on GMT's upcoming Firefight Tactical. Each scenario can be played 2-player against a human opponent or against a customizable solitaire automa. Last but not least, 8th Air Force 2nd edition is now available in Canada. How about that? Okay, so we have Steven Radzikovsky here, who has designed a new B-24 solo game. This is going to be a game where you control the crew of a B-24 plane, and you're going to be assigned to missions in Europe.
Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it. There's sort of two mission types in the game. So the bombing missions over land. You know, you've got AA batteries and factories and warehouses. There's some rail lines to bomb. That was a little challenging. I had to literally make all the rail myself, and the little engine, little cars and everything. I had to make those all myself. It was actually fun. But so there's those kind of missions. What else? Then there's some coastal missions where you have to, try to take out the submarine pens and stuff like that. And then, like you said, there's naval missions. Right now, the only naval missions involve sub hunts. So you're out there with depth charges, and you're trying to, take out the submarines.
Okay. So if you complete 25 missions, how long could it possibly take game time wise?
I think each mission, running the mission one time, it would probably take about an hour. It depends on, like, some, wargaming, sometimes you don't have any resistance, you just get lucky, and then sometimes it's like everything is being thrown at you, even the kitchen sink. So I think on average about an hour.
Okay, so there's enemy fighters that's going to intercept you in some of your missions, and there's BF-109s, there's Focke-Wulfs. So could you take us through the process of enemy fighter interception?
Sure. So when enemy fighters show up, there's a little morale system in the game as well, stress and morale. So you will sort of lose morale and stress as enemy fighters show up, and you'll gain them as they get shot down. So when the enemy fighter comes up, you'll adjust the morale. And if you have an escort available, there's P-47 escorts in the game. They will intercept the fighters, or they will have a chance to have combat between each of them respectively. The escorts get to shoot at the fighters, and the fighters get a chance to retaliate to the escorts. Now, after that is resolved, then it moves to the bomber versus the fighters, the interceptors. And then each crew member has a certain amount of ammunition, represented by the many dice in the game. Each crew member has actual ammo dice, representing the dice to track the ammo. And you get to roll those ammo dice in certain variables and see if you can hit the interceptors. Yeah, so that's how the combat between the, like, it's the most simplest way to explain that.
Do you roll for the German planes as well, or?
Yeah, sure. The fighters, after the bomber gets to shoot first, the fighters then get to do their damage. Unless there's a special card, sometimes the fighters will get to actually fire first.
Okay.
But they have a chance. Oh, don't worry. Yeah, they certainly have a chance.
Okay, so we're looking at 35 pages of rules in this game. And I mean, doesn't necessarily need to say that it's a complex game, because I played games with lots and lots of rules, and it was, you know, once you played it the first time, it goes smoothly. But I played other games with just 4 pages of rules that I constantly had to refer to the rules. But you know, how would you rate the complexity scale from 1 to 5 in this game?
Yeah, if 1 is the lowest, I think I would say it's like 2.5. It's pretty simple, but since there's like a little bit of, there's a few moving parts and stuff. So the rule book, I really tried to make the rule book as like detailed as possible, so that it doesn't leave too many things out, you know, and be confusing. It's not hard to. I've taught the game to a couple of people, and it really wasn't. It wasn't. That's not why my beard got gray. Let's put it that way. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard.
All right, Steven. See you later.
Take care, Dan. Thanks for having me. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Bye-bye. The Battle of Kalkin Gol from Princep Games is now live on Kickstarter, and you have until the 14th of November to back this game. It has already been funded, and players are eagerly trying to unlock all of the stretch goals. The game is yours for only $64. A new update tells us that unfortunately Rogue Regiment has officially been delayed to the first quarter of 2024. Good things come to those who wait. We got a new update from D-Day Dice Reinforcements, letting us know that it's expected to ship at the end of November. Would-Be Aces, designed by Matt White, is now live on Kickstarter and has officially been funded. The campaign runs until November 18. Would-Be Aces, a solitaire wargame where you command a flight of P-47 Thunderbolts on missions to destroy various enemy ground forces. As your pilots fly their planes across the Western Europe landscape, they will encounter enemy ground forces, enemy aircraft, obstacles, good fortune, and crippling bad luck at every turn as you try to reach the objective. The game takes no longer than 1 hour to set up and play, and has a low complexity, streamlined design. This is a print and play game for solitaire. All of the digital PDF files are included. Orange Shall Overcome is now produced and has begun shipping. Manila is the sequel to Stalingrad Advance to the Volga, designed by Michael Rinella. It uses the same system but puts the player in command of the American 14 Corps to defeat Iwabuchi's forces and capture the city of Manila in the Philippines. Ortona Solitaire Tac Ops. This is a campaign system that simulates a battlefield space where operational decisions meet tactical realities. An innovative dice system handles both player and opposition actions, providing a wide range of outcomes with fast resolution. Panzer Dice 3 is the third part of the classic solo roll and write game. In Rats of Tobruk, you play the role of General Leslie Morshead, in command of an Australian division who resisted months of panzer waves of Germans under command of Erwin Rommel. Skies of Victory. Command squadrons of bombers and fighters and engage the enemy. Skies of Victory is a tabletop wargame that allows players to command squadrons of bombers and fighters. Combat 3 Arnhem, as previously reported in this episode. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed today's show. If you did, I would highly appreciate if you would comment and subscribe. I hope to see you on the next one.